All right, joining me now is flyweight Tyson Nam out in Hawaii, man. What time is it there? Like 8 a.m. or something?
9 a.m. to be
9 a.m.
exact.
Yeah.
So you guys caught me just when I woke up.
Bright and early, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out. It's been a couple weeks since your last fight. Came up on the short end of a pretty close decision there. I know there's been a lot of stuff that's happened since then, but I guess what's the vibe like for you right now at this point in your career? I guess how are things going and how are you moving forward?
Man, it's just a shitty feeling. Just because, the one thing that, either like commentators or judges critique my fighting style is just that I'm not busy enough. I always land the bigger and better strikes, but they're just too few. And the one time that, we've been working on top of this since right after my last fight, so about 4 months straight of just being more active, starting faster. And the numbers on the stat sheet literally says it round by round that I was more active, I landed more, and I still can't come out with the nod from the judges. So it's just a shitty feeling every which way. Not only am I is my bank account a little bit light, but I'm unemployed as well. So it's yeah, that's just how it is right now.
Yeah. And did you go back, I'm assuming, obviously, and watch the fight as well? I think the kind of the general public, I saw some people scored for him, some scored for you. I guess what was the main thing that you kind of touched on a little bit there, but what do you think the main thing was if you did go back and watch it that you saw that you were like, this is where the judges got it wrong?
I really did put myself in my opponent's shoes and watch it from that standpoint. I'm like, God damn it, there's nothing that I can see that where he outpointed me, he out hustled me, or anything to win the fight. So I'm just sitting here confused, upset. Uh, what more? There's nothing that I could say or do to change the outcome of it. I mean, I did literally everything possible that I could do that I do know how to do for the past um, you know, I've been in the game for about 17 years on how to win a fight. I literally changed that around, and I'm still come out on the short end of the stick. So whether it was just activity level, I was more active than him. The landing, I outlanded him. I mean, he had two takedowns, but if you look at it, I kicked his base out from under him 3 times. So if you want to talk about getting taken down, I'm ahead 3-2. And even in the control time, he had 22 seconds of control time in the grappling department where I had 30. So I'm pretty much outnumbering him all the way around the stats, round by round. If that's what people are trying to say, you got to score it round by. I scored it round by round, second by second. So at this point, I just don't know how to judge a fight, I guess.
Yeah, and according to MMA decisions, I think .com, about 70% of fans also agreed with you that they thought you won as well. So, uh, it's a tough pill to swallow whenever you lose a fight, I'm sure. But this one, like you mentioned, kind of probably sucks a little bit more. The UFC parted ways with you. Was this something that you felt like going into the fight, your back was up against the wall? Like, I don't know if it was like one of those scenarios where it was the last fight on your deal or something. I guess kind of your reaction to the departure, and was it something that you were expecting?
Yeah, I knew that I needed a win. I needed to win very decisively and in big fashion against 16-0 undefeated future flyweight champ of the UFC division. And I knew that if right when they announced the decision, I thought I was going to get the decision, and when they said his name, I was just like, there goes everything that I worked for to get to this point. It's kind of like you do something good for your job, and then you still get let go at the end of the day. I'm just all sorts of, I'm so salty, but at the same time, I'm just forever grateful to, even have been a part of the UFC. That's all of that's everyone's dream to fight under the big lights and the biggest MMA promotion ever created, right? When we start this off. So, super salty, but forever grateful.
Yep. You had 8 fights in the UFC. You had a lot of fights before then, and it was really cool to see you finally take that step back in 2019. I guess, what do you kind of think going forward? What's your plan from here? You're 39, but the thing is about you, I think that's a little deceiving, right? Because every time we saw you, win or lose, you fought good people and your fights were pretty close. Like this last one, like you said, your opponent, crazy unbeaten record, a guy that's probably going to go on and contend for, the upper echelon of the rankings. A lot of people think so. Are you going to continue to fight? Is this something that you're hoping to continue?
With every fight that I do always look back like, how did I feel? But was I outclassed, outmatched with these? I mean, my opponent was 11 years younger than me, and I feel like I ran him into the dirt. Being crazy wrestler, striker. I didn't get outclassed. I feel like I outclassed him, so it's like, I can still do this at the highest level with the best. It's not like I felt like I was a step slower. I didn't feel like, he out techniqued me in the striking, the grappling, the cardio. He was more tired than I was. So, I think I will continue. I just really hope that, I know there's a flyweight bout every weekend, and if somebody gets injured, I would just hope that I'll be on the top of the list, on top of Nick Maynard's list, to throw me up in there on top of a short notice fight, because you know the week after the fight, my both my feet were so damn swollen I couldn't even walk around for 5 minutes without them blowing up. But this week I started getting back into some lifting, some sprinting again, and I'll get back into the full swing of things of training next week. I'm gonna be training like I'm trying to get ready for a fight on a week's notice. So just let them know that I'll be ready if someone gets injured.
Yep, you always seem to accept the tough fights, and like you said, if a short notice opportunity comes along, maybe they'd bring you back on. If not, I mean, the thing is about you, right? You're in Hawaii, which I think if you look at the promotions that have flyweights and lighter weight guys, like one championship, Ryzen kind of take some Hawaiian fighters sometimes. Is that something that would interest you? Even Bellator, I mean, they're having a flyweight title fight out in Japan between two Japanese fighters. So do you think that there's any appeal there? Would that be something that you were interested in, or do you think you just kind of want to have a little grace period where you kind of stick around, see if the UFC would be willing to have you hop back on?
You know, anyone, anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter. Let's just make it make sense. I'm crossing my fingers for the UFC, but if these other promotions want me to beat up their flyweights as well, uh, so be it. Bring them on and send me some paperwork. But I've always just wanted to fight the best in the world, which was the UFC. But if somebody else needs an ass whooping, call my phone. Call me collect.
And what do you think? For again, kind of, there was a lot that maybe the judges didn't see last fight that you feel that they should have. But when you look at yourself and the self reflection aspect of it, I guess what could you do better to maybe start getting the results that go your way? You like I said, you're kind of, even when you lose, it's a close fight. But how do you kind of push yourself over that line to leave no doubt and to pick up those wins?
Yeah, all of my life, or all of my career, I didn't throw as much just because I never felt good when it came toward a decision. So I was always just throwing fewer but harder to try and knock somebody out. Because in my mind, I don't like my chances when it goes to the decision, because I'm either in someone else's hometown, someone else's home country. So that was always my thought. And then, like I said, after uh, the fight before this last one, we really worked on my output, my volume, to, in case it does go toward a decision, that I don't knock somebody out, that I'll be ahead on top of the scorecards in points round by round. But yeah, I mean, just thinking about that, I don't know. I really don't know what I can do. I mean, if you guys got some tips for me, because I've been doing this professionally for about 17 years, and I guess I still don't know what I'm trying to do. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words on top of the scoring criteria, but I guess like I tell everybody, man, I guess I really don't win unless I knock somebody out.
And I guess you mentioned that. Like, how do you feel physically after all these years? Because we see some of the heavier weight classes guys seem to be able to fight into their early 40s, but it's definitely a little
Mhm.
more unusual for as you move down. And you're a flyweight. It's not like you're a guy that had your first MMA fight when you were, 35. You've been doing this for years. You got dozens of fights, like you said. So I guess one, how do you feel physically? And two, how have you been able to kind of continue to be at this high level at age 39?
Man, I feel so good. Like I mentioned to other people, like I really do feel good or better at 39 than actually when I was at 29. I don't know why. I don't know how. Maybe it's just a change in lifestyle, living a little bit healthier, probably getting more sleep. I never used to sleep. I would always, my bedtime, like a decade ago was probably like 2, 3 a.m. at earliest, probably 4 a.m. on average. But when I think it was during COVID, I actually, there's literally nothing to do. I'm bored as hell. I might as well go to sleep a little bit earlier. And, now my bedtime's like, you know, 10, 11 a.m. And my God, my body feels so good. I feel so refreshed when I wake up. I wear this Aura ring to let me know like how my recovery is. It's almost like a game. So if my recovery is hitting like an 80 or a 90, man, I have such good practices. And I mean, it really does show in my training and leading up into my fights to where I, I'm running running alongside with guys that are like a decade younger than me and you know running them well. So I don't know what the secret ingredient is, but maybe it's just sleep. Maybe it's just sleep.
Lesson to be learned there for everyone. I guess anything else exciting coming up for you? Kind of how you spending the next couple of weeks? Any sort of trips planned? Any family things, or just kind of back in the gym, kind of taking it day by day?
Yeah, I'm gonna get back up into the gym and like I said, I cross my fingers that maybe they'll give me a call back on a short notice for one of these flyweights that drop out and get me back into the big show. And yeah, live life healthy and stay ready. That's all I got.
Great attitude, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Good luck with whatever's next, and I'm sure Tyson will be following you along and talking to you all the way.
Thanks a lot, guys.